Happy Vlogmas number 6. I will never figure out what number Vlogmas it is, to be honest, so we'll just move on. Happy Vlogmas. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Megan. I'm a home baker, and I hope you have been enjoying my Vlogmas so far. Today on the agenda, don't mind the noise. My brother's doing the dishes. I told him, please do the dishes. Today on the agenda, I am making sugar cookies, decorated sugar cookies. So what that entails, I'm gonna give some of my tips and tricks of what I do and the tools that I definitely need when I am making sugar cookies. Number 1 is meringue powder. I lost the top to it, so I put saran wrap to keep it fresh. This is just the Wilton one. There are many brands out there. This is what I use. I haven't tried any other ones, but I will link, oh, and all the things that I talk about, I'll also link down below if you want to buy them on Amazon or wherever. I buy mine at Michael's, but you could definitely buy this on Amazon. Also for my recipe, I just use the Wilton brand. I don't stray away. So I'll also link all the recipes down below of what I do. So yeah. Meringue powder. And I always need piping bags. I buy these off Amazon. They're really nice because they're smaller. They're not as big as the other ones I use. I have 2 kinds of piping bags. I have these smaller ones for my cookies. I have these larger ones for my cake. Because if I am piping a small cookie, I don't want to use this large piping bag. Always get the smaller piping bags for more control. Then I have these rubber bands that I use at the back. Oh, they match my nails. That I use at the opening of the bag, because when you're piping, imagine there's icing in here. When you're piping, you don't want all the icing to come out of the bag, so you always want to tie them. You could buy these at I buy these at Michael's, but honestly, you can just use some clear rubber bands that you use for hair too. Those also work. Next, I have this pokey tool. I think it's called a Scrabble. I don't know what it's called, honestly. I'll link it down below. But this is a pointy tool, so you can poke all the bubbles out and also like spread the icing to the corners. If you ever watch a cookie tutorial or any of my videos on Instagram, you'll see me use this all the time. You need a spray bottle of water, and a spray bottle is very good for when you are trying to make the perfect consistency for your royal icing, because squeezing like this for a long time and having some really hard icing is going to hurt your hand. Your hand's gonna cramp, so you got to change the consistency. But you can always add water, but you can't take it away. So a spray bottle is awesome to like control how much water you put in. Okay, this one's kind of random, but this is a cake smoother for fondant. You could buy this on Amazon. When your cookies come out of the oven, you want to smooth them out like this while they're warm, so that they're not super bumpy when you're icing them. It's a tip. I'll show you how to do that later too. Next, food coloring. For sugar cookies, you can just use water-based food coloring. You don't have to use oil. And I use the brand Chef Masters, but I've also used AmeriColor, and I've used Wilton coloring. I do like Chef Masters and AmeriColor over Wilton, but I know Wilton has recently changed their formula, so maybe they're a little bit better. Okay, lastly, I have my little cookie turntable. At first I didn't have this. I bought this off Amazon, but it's very, very helpful for small cookies. I love it. So get yourself a cookie turntable. I don't think it's that expensive. I think on Amazon it might be $20, which is not bad. Those are the top tools that I need when I am making my sugar cookies, and we'll go through the process of it. Okay. For my cookie cutters, I found these Michael, I think these are scrapbook holders, and this is where I put all my cookie cutters to keep them safe and they don't bend. They're perfect. This is the 12 by 12 and 1.5 inches. And it's perfect for cookies. So if you're a cookie maker, or if you're getting into cookie designing, if you're getting into decorating cookies, I would recommend buying these to keep your cookie cutter safe. So I've made my cookie dough recipe already, and it's perfect consistency. It stays together, doesn't crumble. You roll it into a nice ball, and it's very formable. The recipe I'll link down below, the one I use. I like this recipe because I don't have to put it in the fridge after I make it. Some doughs, they ask you to put it in the fridge. I do not like doing that, it takes too much time. Do not like waiting. So I always keep flour next to me when I'm rolling out my cookies, and I'll show you how I do it. Put some flour on my workspace. You want to make sure you get a very even cookie. So I always rotate my dough to make sure I'm cutting it out evenly. Circle. Cookie pan. I always use an offset spatula to pick up my cookies and place them. And then I keep doing this, because I need 24 cookies, so I will keep the cookies baked. They're a little brown around the edges. When they're done baking right out of the oven, I like to smooth the cookies out, because sometimes there's some bumps or lumps that rise, and it's just nice to have a really flat cookie when you are piping. I made royal icing. I always keep my royal icing in a tub, an airtight tub, so that it doesn't dry out. So it's in here. I have all these bowls that I got from the dollar store. They're just plastic white bowls. I love these because it's easy for me just to put icing in them. Royal icing, just great. Ooh, out of focus, what are you doing? Hello? There we go. It's great to just have a lot of extra bowls around the house when you're making cookies. So another tip is that I use a cup to fill my piping bags. Ta-da! Okay, so I'm gonna show you the process of me filling all my piping bags with the colors that I need. I like to have them all on hand so that it's easier for me to pipe, and the process is just easier. Also, you need a bunch of spoons. Oh, and your spray bottle. So usually for the colors that I have two consistencies. The stiff consistency that I use to outline the area, and then a flooding consistency that will go inside. It's hard to explain. I don't know how to explain things. So right now, this consistency is very stiff. Because if you mix it, let me see if I can get better. If I mix this and I shake it, it doesn't really go into a smooth texture. It's pretty, you could see the lumps and the bumps and all the texture in it. So this would be good stiff icing. I think it's a little too hard still for me to pipe, so I'm just gonna spray it maybe 2 times. I did 3. Mix it. And it's getting to a silkier consistency. So if you shake it a couple times, see how it's smoothing out? You're losing the lumps and the bumps. That's a good one. So this would be good outlining consistency. So I'm gonna put it in a piping bag. So this will be my outlining. Then I will take one of these rubber bands and wrap it around. And there we have it. So outlining icing. So let's make some flooding icing. So let's look at the consistency again. Lots of ridges, a stiff peak. This is not good for flooding. It's going to be too hard and it won't get into a smooth cover, base. I don't know. It won't be smooth. You shake it a couple times. Still very bumpy, lumpy. You're looking for a smooth finish. Oopsies. Okay, I sprayed it like 5 times. If you run a line through it and you shake it, you want to see that the line disappears. It's still kind of thick. I'm going to spray it 2 more times. I did like 4. Okay, so let's draw a line. Let's shake it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the line is gone. So it took 6 seconds, so that's pretty good. I like it a little bit more. Okay, draw a line, shake 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The line is gone. So that is what we're looking for flooding consistency. So let's fill our piping bag. And I put a rubber band on it. I will now do this for the rest of the colors that I need. But you always want an outlining consistency, then a flooding consistency. It takes a little bit of time to learn the consistencies. It's definitely a learning process, but it's very important for your cookies. Okay, so here is a round circle cookie that I'm just going to fill with white for the background of my cookie. So that is a circle. And you'll see the consistency of this one's different. This is where this tool comes in handy. So I start to fill out and push all the way to the edges. And then I poke it and I shake it. And we will let this dry. So in all my piping videos on Instagram, it's always a sped up version of me piping, and I wanted to show a real-time video of me piping, so here it goes. It's gonna be pretty slow, so I hope you stay with me. The number one tip when piping letters, I try to always make sure that my placement of the letters is centered. I'm always start with the bottom word, then I'll do the top word and then the middle to make sure that everything is spaced out evenly. So let's do the top one. So when piping, you want to squeeze and then move in the direction you want to go and have it lay. Okay, here's a test cookie. When you're trying to pipe, you want to press. There's a little bit coming out. You want to press down and then drag across and find your end point. Press down. Oopsies. Try again. See, I'm not even that perfect at it. Press down, drag across, and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and release. One more time. Press down, drag across, and release. You want to keep your hands, they're not straight lines, but you want to keep your hand as steady as you can and keep the pressure on your hand the same all the way through, so you can get the line to be a good thickness. So the next one, an O. There we go. Worlds, and then I go back in the middle. There we go. So that's a little bit of me piping some letters. It takes a lot of time and practice to get the right pressure in your hands, because pressure is everything. How much you squeeze, how little you squeeze. Here's what I came up with for the cookies. This is a baseball cap, Oakland A's. This pretzel needs some salt on it. And then I got some The Office cookies. That's what she said, some Dwight shirts. So I hope you enjoyed that video on me explaining what my top tools are for my royal sugar cookies, my process and how I make them, and all the tips and tricks I've learned along the way of me making sugar cookies. I am not perfect at them. I am still a work in progress. I give so much props to the people who are just A1. Top notch at sugar cookies. It is a world out there. I'm also gonna link below my favorite sugar cookie artists, because they need props, they need follows, they need likes. Their work is just wow. And I hope this inspires you and helps you to get into sugar cookies. It's really fun, even if it's just a hobby, or if you want to do it with your family members for Christmas and stuff. I'd super recommend it. It's a super fun activity. So hope you guys enjoy Vlogmas, and I'll see you next time. Bye.